defeat in their opening match. 8-ball is flying! Oh, how did that stay up? It's actually flown at the pocket so hard, it's jawed.
Yeah, it gets pinballed all over the place here. Ronan got excited. I don't think Dec ever thought that was in. The actual split's not great, though. They haven't opened up that well for them.
It's not come out ideally either.
No. And it was Ronan that had a couple of issues in the first match, and a couple of small issues. And okay, that's not necessarily a bad mistake. They've tried to cannon into balls and make it happen and open it up, and it hasn't quite. But not the greatest of starts. Big double coming up then for Declan.
Shot.
Brilliant shot, and perfectly on the one to the right hand side, which is the way they want to do it. One on the left connects to the one by the 8-ball and gets them out. So that is essentially a frame winner. Excellent start. They've just got to make sure the Reds don't get in the way here. Declan won the very first Pro Series title with Ultimate Pool, and at the time, he was a lot of attention. People talking about him as being one of the best players, if not the best player in the world, and the form has dipped, but I think we're seeing him win the World Masters in Morocco. I think the confidence and belief is there, and I think we're going to see a huge amount out of Declan over the next 12 months or so. I think he's going to get himself right back up into that top 8, maybe top 4 in the world, where, in my opinion, he belongs.
Yeah, absolutely. Declan at his best is one of the best players in the world. There's no question about it. Got all the tools. Ronan plays a bigger gap. Tougher pot, but a bigger gap, and that was the right choice. You've got to back yourself for your Declan Brennan to make this pot, and he certainly will. Yeah, and just needs to double check it though, because it is tight.
Yeah, the 8-ball will help him here though. If he just feathers the 8-ball, it will drop in. There you go, just feathers it. It wasn't going to disrupt the 8-ball either. Even if it nudges it on the cushion, it would have been simple enough for Ronan. So well worked out shot from Ronan.
In it goes, and they are on the board in this match. There they are. The brothers of destruction.
I like that.
Which one's Kane, which one's the Undertaker?
Yeah, I bet they wish they had won something in their first match. I bet they wouldn't believe they had to wait till match 2 before winning a frame tonight.
You got long odds of that at the start, that's for sure.
The toughest thing for them is obviously believing they can still go through, and obviously they're going to have to win their final 2 matches and hope that other results go their way as well. Most likely in the next match they'll feel like they'd need Cole and Luke to get the job done and potentially take it to a 3-way 6-red shootout. But obviously a lot of results to happen there as well. But yeah, for them to have to win it in a 6-red shootout, which is how they're probably thinking now, will be tough as well, because they've had some bad times with it.
Oh, cue ball absolutely flying. It's it has yeeted itself off the table there. Watch this. See ya. Almost cleared it, which is impressive. No bounce.
Yeah, you don't see that often, but it just means cue ball in hand anywhere on the table, which can make a big difference. And talked about the order of the players on the left-hand side. Interesting for me that Declan goes as essentially player 1, simply because it means that Ronan will break as player 2, whereas no doubt about it that Declan's break has now become one of the best in the world, and between the two of them you'd want Declan breaking and not Ronan, which is why he breaks the Scotch frames. And if they'd gone the other way round, it would be Ronan mopping these up and then Declan to break. But you have to make that decision before you play.
I think they're probably thinking, we've got to back ourselves to win this match, regardless of the sort of the intricacies or the tactics and stuff like that. I think if you're Declan Brennan and Ronan McCarthy, you really can't worry too much about all of that. You've got to back yourself to win this match.
But it can make the difference in some matches. You certainly, if you ask them, would you want Declan breaking frame 3 or Ronan? Because I believe both of them would have made this clearance.
perfect as he can be on the 8 ball. Kills it into that middle pocket. Lovely visit to the table. Well, the Ultimate Pool Pro Series is coming up in a couple of weeks' time, and I would lightly suggest that there will be a fair bit of backing towards Declan Brennan for that event. He looks razor sharp.
Yeah, it's amazing actually that he didn't come through the Players' Championship. He was brilliant through the weekend, and a real tough match against Harriet Haynes in the second stage, where he ended up losing a deciding frame where Harriet played brilliantly and Declan played brilliantly. It was just an incredible standard match that Harriet took out in the decider, and essentially that knocked Declan into a 6-red shootout, and his poor run in the 6 reds continue, and in the end it was Stevie Dempsey that made it through, but Declan played his part and was brilliant throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
Well, all the talk of the break I was making in the previous frame, Ronan makes a ball off this one with a cut break and has a great chance, so all worked out well for them.
Yeah, it was 50-50. It wasn't like a perennial struggle. It was about a 50-50. The splits were coming out about the same. And when they did, Ronan was generally mopping them up. But
yeah,
the thing is it's such a changeover from the Players' Championship, which, even though it's still relatively quick fire, it's, you know, it's a much longer format, and you need a severe attitude adjustment to come onto the Monday night and deal with all the shenanigans and all the fun and games of the Pairs Cup, where you get no time to settle whatsoever. Every mistake is magnified.
The statistic I'd like to see for Ronan when he's at his best is how often he clears up when he makes a ball off the break. We know that he doesn't make a ball as often as other players, certainly the other top players, but when he does, he's so clinical normally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does the yellow by the 8 ball go without a nudge? Possibly if he gets the right angle on it, but his margin of error isn't big, and that looks like he's gone too far by a good 2-3 rolls. Can he turn it in?
Looks like he's getting it relatively straight.
Yeah, tried to pot it thick and turned it in, and very nicely done.
Still got a shot to play.
Or 2 actually, because he's going to have to thread the needle a little bit with the one along the top cushion. Depends how good he gets on it with this one. Loads of left-hand side to spin it up.
Crucial match, this one. Loser of it will be rock bottom of the group, and no way to qualify. Going bottom left. Never in doubt. Ronan McCarthy gets the job done. Not the cleanest visit to the table, but he's out, and that ultimately is all that matters, really.
Tricky layout though.
And
he picked it apart, like, you know, barely didn't move any balls, didn't play any cannons, backed his cue ball to work his way around, and that's actually very classy. And well, we said that the favourites for this group were under pressure, and how they've responded: break clearance, reverse clearance, break clearance, 3-0 up, and exactly what they needed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Percy, Randall to break. Trailing 3 frames to nil.
Cue ball again, catching some air for Clarke Randall. That's a better break. He'd have loved one of the balls to step over the corner pockets, because that would have given them a first shot. I'm not sure they've got one now. That's brutal if so.
Yeah, it's very tough if they're not on this yellow to bottom left. Can they just about get there? It's tight. Oh, they could. They overdid it. They could actually get there. That was awkward. Deserved to be a little bit better off the break than that, to be honest, but I guess the yellow was still on, and yellows were a good layout for them. Shows you how quick this game can change and turn around on you. That, well, about 12 minutes ago they were on a clearance to get a draw from their opening match, and
oh yeah, exactly.
One shot in open play later, they could lose this one 4-0 and be out of the competition.
Yeah, it does all just change out of nowhere really at times.
Pretty sure Declan and Ronan would like to have gone yellows, but didn't really have an opener. That was all they had on, really. Well, they've got themselves in trouble.
In massive trouble. I mean, how on earth do you get... Declan's having himself a little giggle. But I mean, how do you get out of this?
He's got one cushion. It looks like he might be going 2. Oh, he's going 3.
All right then, Declan.
Why not? When one cushion's on, let's go 3. Oh, he misses it.
Yeah, it was incredibly tough to get out of that situation.
He's going. The reason he's going 3 is because he's trying to find a line where he can knock a ball, full ball, towards a pocket, and that's why he felt that was the way to go. He could have gone off the top cushion and hit the one in the bottom half of the table fairly consistently, but a little bit harder to make. So for Clarke and Phil, this is a great chance to get something going in this match, even if it is too little too late. Won't stop them trying, and I guess there'd still be 7 minutes left and to be 2 behind, you just never know. Yeah, this isn't bad, even though it's the wrong angle, they're going away from it. It's a natural 3 cushions. Oh, he's gone in off. Oh dear.
Disaster strikes. Disaster.
I'm not sure if they potted that thick or just got his line wrong completely. I thought he was going to be a good few inches high of the centre pocket.
Not to be for Percy and Randall. They got so close to getting themselves a point in the first match, and before they know it, they are dumped unceremoniously over the top rope and out of the competition. Declan Brennan and Ronan McCarthy, all smiles. They are still very much in the mix here.